What's up, everybody? This is Trey Biddy with HawgSports.com coming to you from Death Valley, Tiger Stadium, where almost 100,000 people witnessed Arkansas falling 34-31 to the LSU Tigers. And every loss is disappointing. I'm not happy. I haven't come to a road venue and watched Arkansas win a road game since 2016. You've never seen one of these walk and talks. You've never seen one of these walk and talks in a true road venue, not a neutral site or a bowl game or anything, where I talked about an Arkansas win. It's another close loss, which is, again, just a disturbing trend. But I think there are also a lot of positives to take away. We can talk about this also right down here in the end zone. Do you let them score? Yeah, you do. You let them score. I mean, what is the other option? You're praying that they miss basically an extra point? I mean, and you're going to have like a minute and change to go down there and score. You don't have any timeout, so that's a lot to ask in a road environment to go down and score like that. But I think it's a better option than, the other one. And, Pittman said post-game that he didn't think they would score. I carry him into the end zone. I couldn't tell. I'm like way up there. Like where am I? Right there. That's where I am. So it's difficult for me to tell exactly how things are going that far. I'm watching through binoculars, but if anything, this makes the BYU game a little more disappointing because you see how they can play. I don't think that Arkansas is going to play a better team than what they faced tonight. Just a tale of two halves in this one, but 11 penalties is too many. 11 penalties is too many, but 14 in your home environment is way too many. You're not going to go on the road with 11 penalties and win many games, but if you've ever been here, you can kind of understand why it's so difficult. Why it can get in your head a little bit. Arkansas continues to have goal line problems. I mean, some of the same problems keep popping up. I do think, it's good for them. They got Devon Manuel back. That's huge. I thought he played well. I thought that DeBinion played well. And I can kind of understand now why, when we were talking about go with the hot hand in the BYU game, why isn't AJ getting more carries? I kind of feel like they want DeBinion to be that guy. They feel like he's that guy from a talent standpoint, from a potential standpoint. And we saw that today. And you just you got two teams just throwing haymakers, just sledgehammers going at a brick wall. And those 3-yard runs that DeBinion was getting, or no gain or 1-yard run on first down, started getting 7 yards, 8 yards, just started softening that defense up. Unfortunately for Arkansas, that's what happened to them too. LSU made some adjustments. I mean, you couldn't ask for a worse end to the first half. Arkansas had all the momentum. This place was as quiet as you're ever going to hear it. As quiet as you're ever going to hear it. And, for 29 minutes, you have all the momentum. You've silenced these people. And in 18 seconds, they go down and score. And then they score, 5 straight touchdowns? 4 straight touchdowns and a field goal, something like that? You just couldn't stop them at all. So LSU made better adjustments than Arkansas did. It's disappointing to see the defense give up so much. I do think that they still have a really good defense. Sometimes the other team is better, and I think you might run into that today. I think LSU is probably the favorite to win the SEC right now. I think they're hands down the favorite to win the SEC right now. But if Arkansas can play like they did tonight, cut down the penalties, then I think they're going to win some games. And I think KJ finally started to get comfortable. I think he did get comfortable. I think he finally, you saw the way he was moving around, kind of letting loose a little bit, maybe a little bit of old KJ in there, started kind of slow. A big problem in this game, why the defense was playing so well in the first half, the offense and was moving the ball, but you run into these goal line problems and, the false starts and they have got to get better at the goal line. You can't just keep on the road. You can't, at the goal line, just settle for 3 points. And it's the right call to kick the field goal. I mean, I'm not going to go away from what I've said the whole time, especially when Arkansas has struggled so much in 4th and 1 situations and at the goal line. Kick the field goal, get your points. I said before the field goal attempt down here that Arkansas, no matter what happens, if they get it or not, I want to see them kick the field goal. And they went for the fake, and it worked. So maybe that was the right call. But they ended up kicking a field goal that was longer than the one that they initially were going to kick. I think they were going to 37-yard field goal, and they ended up kicking a 40-yard field goal. Jaheim Thomas playing well. It's good to see Nudie McLeather get an interception against his former team. You know, Pittman said in postgame he didn't feel like they did anything different offensive line, but you know they had more problems getting pressure on them in the second half. I mean, it's amazing how different two games can be, or one game can be. It felt like two, with the first half to the second half. It's been an interesting trip here. I mean, it is such a great environment to watch a football game, especially at night if you've never been here. And I've seen Arkansas win here at night, but it didn't happen today. I don't feel too bad about, and I'll tell you this too, you know, like you can be disappointed and everything, and I am too. Nobody likes losing. Like people are furious, I'm sure, right now because you lost 2 games in a row, and you should be. You should expect more. But I think they're going down to Texas Saturday, and I think they're going to beat Texas A&M if they play like this. It would have been real easy for them just to let go of the rope against BYU, start pointing fingers, come out here and get the butts kicked. 17.5-point underdogs. First line I saw was 18.5. And they battled. Well, they battled for a half. It seemed like the offense was there all game. They just couldn't finish in the first half. If they finished in the first half, then they probably win the game. And then the defense just, I don't know what happened. I'll have to go back and watch it. You guys watching on TV may have a better idea, but from watching in the press box, they just couldn't get to Daniels. He had time to throw. You know, and KJ was getting pretty good protection. There were times where they just couldn't get anybody open. But he was getting pretty good protection. I felt like the offensive line took a step forward. I mean, and, you know, they executed the game plan. The only thing that I would say that I think I would have tried to do differently is at the end of the game, I would have let them score. And that's a tough ask to tell your players, hey, let them in. But I don't think you had any other option if you're trying to win the game. I know I'm just repeating myself on that, but what else is there to say? The stats are all kind of messed up on the stat sheet. They've got things backwards. They have Arkansas or LSU with all of Arkansas's penalties. I think they had the yardages flipped around. Can't trust any of that, so I don't even know what the final numbers were. So it's nice to get a direct flight to Baton Rouge. That's never happened before. But ultimately, my final takeaway, I don't know if people want to see me like furious, angry, and I am. I'm like, yeah, I mean, I don't like the way I feel right now. But I also feel some level of encouragement. At the same time, you know, they just lost 2 games in a row. They're 2-2. They hadn't beaten anybody. They hadn't beaten anybody. I feel like that's going to turn around, though. I don't think that they came out of here with a bunch of injuries or anything. I mean, they're going to be beaten up and sore, no question about it. I mean, you couldn't be playing this type of game, you're going to come away beaten up. But there's nothing serious, I don't think. Maybe they get Rocket Sanders back. Get Rocket Sanders back, that'll be big for the offense. I mean, you saw how much a difference it made when Arkansas finally started running the ball. And how, I mean, let's talk about some individual guys. I mentioned some guys on defense, Shaheem Thomas. You know, defensive line just, they struggled in the second half. That was surprising to see after they started so strong. But Luke Has is a stud. Like, who's the last freshman Arkansas has had that good? Burks. And it was been a while since anybody came along before Burks. But Luke Has playing his butt off. DeBinion played very well. Like KJ played very, very well. Really started, I don't know, just kind of finding his groove. It's good to see Devon Manuel get back out there. I thought Manuel definitely made a difference on the plays that he was in there. Again, I'm watching from up there in my binoculars, but I felt like Devon Manuel played well. You can't keep having, you know, false starts. Dude, I'm recording here. This guy's just literally dropped 3 F-bombs in a row. All right, maybe that's a sign to stop it. They're shutting the lights off. Get you one last good look here at Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Arkansas 31, LSU 34. Another close loss. Too many penalties. Should have let them score at the end. That was going to be my second question to Sam Pittman in the press conference, but he answered it. He's like, before anybody asks, I'll answer it. Is it time to panic? No. This is a really good team. Again, 17.5-point favorites over Arkansas. Nobody likes losing. Nobody likes being picked by 17.5. And it sucks that you're in it. You know, you're right there in it, and they should be 3-1 right now, and they could have been 4-0 if the cards fall right. You just, you know, you grow as a football team throughout the season. You can't just expect them to come out and just be a team, but it is year 4, and you just want to see them take that next step. All right, that's it. Thanks for joining me, everybody. This has been Trey Biddy with HawgSports.com, coming to you from Baton Rouge. We'll catch you next time.